Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter, and I love talking about movies, music, comics, and games. Today, I actually got super lucky, got to go see an early screening of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I'm not wearing my glasses. Much better. I was wondering why everything looked so blurry, and I cracked that code pretty fast. I was lucky. I got to go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the new animated movie from Seth Rogen. I know it's not from Seth Rogen, but that's what all the trailers and posters say, so from Seth Rogen. Also, I apologize for my mic quality issues I've been having. I've been trying to figure out these new mics. I might return them, trade them in. I don't know. I'm just having a lot of audio issues, so I do apologize about that. If you actually watch this video, I do apologize. Getting all that out of the way, I actually ended up really enjoying this movie. So if you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it down below. As far as I know, not many other people who've seen it. I haven't heard anything talked about it online. What I have heard talked about it isn't like reception of the film. It's just that part of it isn't very comic accurate. That's the only thing I've heard. So if you have seen the film, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about it. I'd love to hear about it. But like I said, I really enjoyed it. So let's get right into the positives. Right out of the gate, I mean, you look at the movie, its animation is incredible. It's obviously very influenced by the more abstract, like hand drawn style of Spider Verse that takes on a more comic booky feel. And I really liked that about the movie. I thought that was super unique. It gave everything a really interesting visual flair. Gorgeous to look at. I got some flack for saying that in one of my reviews that a movie is gorgeous to look at. You should see some of the movies that come out nowadays. It is not gorgeous to look at. This movie, I love looking at it. I was really engrossed in the whole movie, just looking at the art style, looking at how everything was hand drawn, the colors and everything. It was just so vibrant, and I really loved it because it also had like an underground, not underground, because obviously the hip hop that played in it, the music that played in it was not underground, but it was very like hip hop, New York inspired, and I really enjoyed that about the movie. I thought that was very creative, since the Turtles, are from New York. It had a lot of hip hop in that time that would have been prevalent. It gave it a very like underground type feel, because they're in the sewers. But I loved the soundtrack and the score. The soundtrack that played with all like the rap music. It had like one pop song that was kind of funny playing in it. Didn't really ruin it, but I much preferred the hip hop. That's much more my style. Is like rap and hip hop, that flavor of music, and I really liked that in the movie. I thought it added a lot to it, and the score, the original score, is incredible. It's very synth, very like techno esque, and I really loved it. It reminded me a ton of like Tron Legacy. I thought it turned out exceptional. It was great. The voice cast here also gets a lot to do. I really loved the characters that voiced the turtles. It made them feel like teenagers. I've liked every Ninja Turtles movie pretty much. Okay, I take that back. I have not liked every Ninja Turtle. I liked the original one. Secrets of the Ooze I watched once, and Turtles in Time I watched once. Do not remember them. The TMNT animated movie, dude, that was my thing, bro. And actually, this is kind of funny, but I grew up watching the Ninja Turtles cartoons, so I've seen like all the original seasons of the old cartoon with the OG theme song. I remember watching like the Nickelodeon, a lot more anime inspired one that was a lot darker actually. And then I've seen a little bit of the new Nickelodeon one. I forgot what it's called. I really enjoyed this, man. I'm pretty easy to please. The Ninja Turtles have always been kind of like not a guilty pleasure, but I've always really liked them. I've had like a emotional attachment to them as a kid, so I'm really not super invested in like the comics side of them. I haven't read any issues of the Turtles comics. I hear they're really good. Haven't read them, but there's also a lot of stuff that was very like marketed towards teenagers, like the Turtles saying "Riz" or "sus." That was kind of weird. But I also appreciated that they talked like teenagers because it would have been kind of weird if they were like, "Man, you have no charisma." Like, dude, what teenager says charisma at age 15, bro? Like, come on. There were some really funny lines in here from the Turtles and just their dynamic with everybody. The back and forth between the Turtles and Superfly was great. Ice Cube is just really fun to hear in an animated movie. You I never thought I'd hear Ice Cube say 6 in the morning, police at my door, and an animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but here we are, man. That's the world we living in. Honestly, I liked the dynamic with the Turtles. I liked their dynamic with April O'Neil. There was a few jokes, especially with April, that didn't quite land for me, but I felt that she was a great character overall, and I really liked the way she pulled through in the end. I thought that they did Master Splinter a little dirty at first, but he kind of came through in the end as well. There's some great action in here. There's a montage in the middle of the movie that is just stellar with a great soundtrack, and it is just the Turtles kicking butt and montaged. It was awesome. For my positives, to round it out, I actually found the story and like the emotional arc pretty compelling as the Turtles and April O'Neil figure out like the reasons what they're fighting for, the reasons they want to do good, It starts out as like they want to be well liked by everyone, and it goes into something much more altruistic, which I really enjoyed. And like the ending sequence reminded me a lot of the Spider-Man films, especially the ending of Spider-Man 1 and the ending of Amazing Spider-Man, just how they incorporate New York, which I really liked that. I liked how they incorporated the city into it, they incorporated the people into it. Although part of it is a little weird at the end, just with how they handle some of the villains. Even though I've never read any of the Ninja Turtles comics, I have some knowledge of them, and it was kind of weird to see villains who have done some terrible things to the Ninja Turtles just be hanging out with them at some point in the movie. That was kind of weird. I was like, but every average 13-year-old kid really isn't going to care, and that's who this movie's marketed towards. So if you're a 13-year-old kid, or if you sometimes act like a 13-year-old kid like myself, you're going to love this movie. It was a ton of fun, man. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, probably one of my like surprising movies of the summer. Between that and They Clone Tyrone, I've really been surprised with a few movies this last few weeks, and I've been loving it. I'm all here for it. However, the movie, of course, is not perfect. So going into the mixed slash really just the mixed, I don't really have a ton of negatives. A few of the jokes didn't quite land. I mean, like I said, it's marketed towards 13-year-olds, so there's going to be a few jokes in here, like words like sus and riz, and like just the turtles kind of goofing off, and people being like, oh, that's not cool. Like, you're not cool. You guys are so lame. Just jokes that kids will really like. For older audiences like myself, or like dads who have been seeing the cartoons, or people who read the comics, probably will be like, not rocking with that. That's okay. Honestly, I didn't really find it super annoying or overbearing. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time with it. I spent a lot of time laughing, and yeah, man, I think that's really all you need to know. It's funny. It's a good Ninja Turtles movie, better than the Michael Bay movies, and honestly, I had a really good time with it. So I definitely recommend it. Overall, my score for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, kind of a mouthful to say, is going to be 9 out of 10, hovering around there. I had a really good time with that movie, and I walked out of it laughing really hard. There's a few jokes in here that just absolutely killed me, and hopefully, if you see it, you love it as well. Have you seen Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem? I'm just going to abbreviate because I'm just going to stutter and slur the crap out of that. I will not be able to pronounce that. So hopefully you can. And if you've seen it, let me know again what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, guys, I'm Carter Walker. Have a great rest of your day.